Alright, right now we're going to look over the notes for volumes of cylinders, and that's what our big idea is for today, literally how to find the volumes of cylinders. So as you may see, there are some patterns here. The volume of a cylinder specifically is the product of the area of the base, which is a circle, and the height of a cylinder. So I'm going to write this under here because, as you guys know, circles are really important for Math 7 and Math 7 Accelerated. So the base here is a circle. You need to know that, and you need to know the formulas for that as well. Okay, and the height of the cylinder. So this is a very generic formula. You've already seen this before, but the most important part is knowing what the area of the base is, or in other words, what to identify it, and then use that to input that into your formula. Okay, so we're going to move right along and look at example 1. Example 1 says, find the volume of the cylinder, and we're going to be rounding our answer to the nearest tenth. Okay, so I'm just going to write our formula here. Volume equals area of the base times the height. Okay, so again, our base here is a circle, so you have to know the formula for the area of this base. Well, I'm going to write that up here for you because we know that our base is a circle. I'm going to write here area of a circle. You should know this by now, but if you don't, no big deal. You have time to memorize it. The area of a circle is going to be pi r squared. Okay, so that's what we're going to focus on today, is the area of this base, which is a circle. Okay, so we're going to take that information here, which is 3 meters. Hopefully by now you guys recognize that this 3 meters represents our radius. Okay. And we're just going to input it into our formula here. So volume equals, I'm going to put this in parentheses. We have the area of a circle is pi times our radius. Our radius is 3, and I'm going to square it. Okay, so pi r squared times our height. I'm going to put that in this color. This is the height of our cylinder. Okay, height of cylinder. So I'm just going to input that right here. Oops, sorry. The height of this is 6 meters, so I'm just going to put 6 there. Okay, I'm going to do what's inside the parentheses first. I see the exponent, so I'm going to do that. 3 squared is not 3 times 2, it's 3 times 3. So 3 times 3 is 9. I'm left with 9 pi, I'm just going to leave it as pi right now, times 6. Well, 9 times 6 is, oops, I was going to say 54, but it is, yeah, 54. Whoa, that's kind of silly. 54, and I get 54 pi. Okay, this is an exact answer, so I'm okay if you keep it like this for now, but we also have to know what that means. It means 54 times 3.14, so our volume is going to be about 169.6, I believe. Let me double check that when I input that into my calculator. So again, in my calculator, I'm just putting 54 times 3.14, and I get, oh, okay, let me fix that for you. I get 169.56. Okay, and when I round that to the nearest tenth, my volume, again, I'm going to round it, is 169.6. So here's the 10th place. The number next to it is a 6, so it's telling me I need to round up. So 169.6. This is meters, and we're dealing with volume, so it's going to be cubed. Okay, so this is a rounded answer. This here, I guess I should put that in a different color. This here, class, if you remember me saying, this is our exact answer. In other words, our answer in terms of pi, because pi is an irrational number. It goes on and on and on and on. So this is an exact answer. Okay, you've had a couple bonus questions on your quizzes like that. Okay, and this is our rounded answer, what they're looking for, rounded to the nearest tenth. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and move it here. I see I have another cylinder I'm going to find the area of, and again I'm just going to take our formula and input what I know. So I know my formula is volume equals area of the base times the height. I know that the area of this base is a circle, and I know that this is going to be the height of our cylinder. But what's kind of interesting, guys, is we're not finding the volume. I'm mistaken. We're finding the height of the cylinder. So the height of the cylinder is h. That's what we're missing, and we're going to be using this information, the volume. We're going to input that into our formula here. Okay, so this is important to know, and we need to know this. What is this 10 inches here? Well, the 10 inches here represents our diameter, and in order to find our radius is what we need for our formula. If you remember from this example up here, we had to use our radius. Diameter is 10 inches, so that means our radius is going to be half of that. Half of 10 is 5, so 5 inches is going to be our radius. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to input it into my formula here. The volume is 314 inches cubed, and that's going to equal the area of our base. Well, I'm just going to input what I know. Area of the base is pi times the radius, which is 5 squared. I have all that information, and what we're missing is our height. So we're going to be solving for h. Okay, so I'm just going to rewrite what I see after I simplify. 5 squared is 25, so I'm left with 25 pi times our height. Okay, from here, class, we can divide by 25 pi on both sides. You could do it one time or separately if you want, but I'm going to do it in one time. I'm going to do it once. Okay, so all at once. 25 pi. Okay, I know 25 divided by 25 cancels out, and I know pi divided by pi cancels out. That gives me 1 h is what I want. Okay, so I'm going to input that into my calculator. 314 divided by 25 times pi. Okay, so make sure when you put it in your calculator, you do 314 divided by whatever this is. So it may help to do them separately first and then to divide them. So I should get, sorry, I'm trying to input that into my calculator. I wish I had a calculator to show you. 314 divided by, you know what, I'm going to show you what I'm inputting. I'm doing 314 divided by 25 times 3.14. That's what I'm going to be inputting into my calculator, okay? So I do that, and then I divide by whatever this is. So I make sure I put that in parentheses. 314 divided by, in parentheses, 25 times 3.14 in my parentheses. And I'm going to get is 4. Oh, nice. Okay, so I get 4 is about my height here. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that is going to be our answer. So I'm going to write that our height is about 4 inches. Now, the reason why some of you are going to say, well, why is it about? Well, that's because we're dividing by 3.14. When I put that in my calculator, I'm already using a rounded version of pi. Because it's rounded, I have to understand that this is not exact. It's going to be very close, but it's not exact. So my height is about 4 inches. Okay? And again, class, I apologize. I'm looking at this and I see there's a mistake here. This should be going on to the next page there. So please make sure that you flip it over in order to do that on your own practice problems here. But other than that, what's kind of nice about these problems is that you're already given everything you need to know to find that missing value. You input it into your formula and you solve for h. You can do it 2 separate steps, but I did it in 1 step here. I divided by 25 pi on each side. This is what I inputted into my calculator, but also take a note, I already said this, that this I had to put in parentheses first if I do it in 1 step, because your calculator does an order of operations. So what it would do is 314 divided by 25, and then it would multiply by pi, and that's not what we have here. Make sure you have your numerator divided by whatever your denominator is. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and flip it over for us. And here is the on your own practice problems that I would like you guys to do, and input your answers and your work into the Google Slides. You are solving for either the volume, which is what you're solving for here, or the height here. And so just to get you guys started, I'm going to write our formula. Volume equals area of the base times our height. Okay, same thing here. Volume equals area of our base times our height. But hey, look, we already have the area, the volume, excuse me, of this cylinder. So just input information that you have, just like we did on the front side. Okay, and just for those of you that want to check to make sure you are doing it correctly, this is going to be my answer. It's going to be 240 pi for this one, which is about 754.0 feet cubed. That is your answer. So if you get that, you know that you're doing it correctly. And then this next one here is going to be 11 pi. I know it looks very similar. 11 pi, which is about, if I put that in the calculator, 11 divided by 3.14. I'm going to get about 3.5 centimeters for our height here. Okay, so please make sure you are taking a note. These are your answers. I want to see your work for it. Okay, last example class for these notes. We are going to be doing a real life application problem, meaning this is something you could see potentially in the real world. We're dealing with salsa here, and we want to know how much salsa is missing from the jar. So we can see how much is left. We want to know how much is actually missing. So knowing that, taking a look at what we have, we know that the empty space, so this space from here to here in the jar, is a cylinder. Okay, so we're dealing with a cylinder here. Obviously, it's notes on cylinders. Our height is going to be whatever the total is. It's 10 inches from here to here, minus what we already have. We have 4 centimeters. So that means from here to here, what we're actually looking for, this is going to be 6 centimeters, our empty space. Okay, that's right here. Our radius here is 5 centimeters. This is our radius, and that's exactly what we need to know. So again, I'm going to use my handy dandy formula. Our volume equals area of our base times our height. So let's input our information here. We have our area of a base is a circle, so I'm going to input pi times our radius, which is 5. Oops, sorry, I don't know what that was for. Okay. Times 5 squared. Okay, pi times our radius squared times our height. Okay, our height is going to be the height here of what we're looking for, our missing portion, which is going to be 6. Okay, I guess I could have done that in a different color too. That's okay. So I'm just going to simplify. Volume equals 5 squared, which is 25. I get 25 pi times 6. 25 times 6 is going to be 150. So I'm left with 150 pi. Again, if you recall, this is our exact answer. Okay, because it's in terms of pi. But if I put that in my calculator, I'm going to take 150 times 3.14. And when I input that into my calculator, 150 times 3.14, I'm going to get 471. Okay, so again, I know it's kind of silly. I have to put the about there because I have a whole number. But because I'm multiplying by an already rounded version of pi, it's an about answer. So our answer here is about 471 centimeters cubed of salsa missing from the jar? Okay. That is our answer of what is missing from the jar. I found it right here. Now what I'm going to ask you to do along with the two above is you're going to give me your work for this one here. It says, what if in this example 3 here, that we have the height of the salsa in the jar is 5 centimeters. So this, instead of being 4 centimeters, is 5 centimeters. Then at that point, how much salsa is missing from the jar? So hopefully you recognize if we have more salsa here, that means there's less missing space. So our answer here should be bigger. And in fact, the answer for that one is, oh, that's definitely not it. Oh, here it is. Our answer here is going to be 125 pi, which is about, I hope you can see that, is about 392.7 centimeters cubed. Okay, so again, this is the answer. I want you to show me your work for that. How did you get that answer? Okay. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me. I would love to help you out. All right.